Security is a somewhat scary topic depending on who you're talking to, right? Security goes back to when we were just kids and when we were children and we were in the playground and somebody bit us or hit us. Like kids bite and kids hit. I mean, at certain ages, they are, they can be somewhat, uncivilized when you think about it, right? And so at an early age, when we're affected by, say, some type of like low level physical violence, right? That kind of gets us thinking like that not everybody is nice and not everybody is kind. And then over time, as we age and as we navigate life, we experience more and more situations where people are not nice and not kind. And in some cases, they might be angry. In some cases, they may say awful and mean things. And in some cases, they may be, violent, right? And we learn from all these situations. But all those situations, in some way, shape, or form, affect us. They affect us physically, they affect us emotionally. And in some cases, they actually like can traumatize us, depending on the severity of those situations. And so as we age, as we grow older, and as we learn that security is a part of our um, lifestyle, it's a part of our culture, and then ultimately it's a part of protecting ourselves from harm. And then in the workplace, it's part of our job description to some degree, right? We have all these previous life experiences that we may not necessarily apply effectively to security awareness training due to the fact that there's a lot of childhood emotion there. Now, when you think about it, we don't want to think or believe that bad things can happen to us. It's just not natural to us. We as human beings are what's considered an interdependent species. And what that means is we depend on and rely on each other for our survival. That's just the way it is. We need each other to procreate. Without each other, the species would cease to exist. And as an interdependent species, our default, our baseline is trust. We need to trust each other. Without trust, we wouldn't, if all we did was fear others mean to do us harm, if we didn't trust anybody, we wouldn't be social creatures. We'd never get with anybody. We require that trust. And the problem with that baseline of trust is that throughout the day, week, month, year, the people you meet, the emails you get, the phone calls you receive, the text messages that come in, your baseline is that you want to and you need to trust the person who's sending that to you. And so as you're consuming this information, as you're meeting these people, you're giving them the benefit of the doubt. And as we're continually giving the benefit of the doubt, bad guys know this. And they know that our baseline is trust. And they use truthful situations to scam us. And they twist things at the very end.